The film about the wheel-lock pistol is not a standalone project. I'm already working on the second chapter dealing with the infantry tactics and the matchlock musket. An interesting part of this project is the Tinder lock. That actually needs tinder made from Tinder fungus. So I took an old recipe to prepare tinder for a fire starting kit and documented the process for you. The Tinder fungus is an easy to find parasite living on trees. This is what we are looking for. There are many types of tinder fungus and nearly all will work well for tinder making. They grab the tree strongly, so get an axe or a bowie like mine to separate it. Usually the top surface is hard while the bottom is soft, so first we have to remove the bark from the top. Let's go and make some tinder. The most important part of the preparation is the cooking. If you want to keep a close relationship to your wife or girlfriend, I suggest you to do this under the great blue sky, otherwise you might get killed for the stink the fungus will generate. The aim of putting the fungus in boiling water is of course not to soften it, but to add the secret ingredient to it, the potash. The most easy and most traditional way is to add a few handful of ashes to the water. Now cut the tinder fungus into 1-2 cm slices to help it absorb the chemicals from the boiling water. Back in the good old days people said that you must add some urine to the water as well. Well, probably this is true, but I skipped this part. Now it's time to add the fungus to the water and also to add the ashes. It really does not matter how much you add. Well, don't be niggardly, add the good amount. And now comes the time-consuming part. First stir the mix well, like it was a delicious soup, and now boil it until the water evaporizes completely. This will at least take 1 or 2 hours. When you're ready, remove the fungus for the cauldron. Now it is time to flatten the slices. When flattening them, you will notice that the fungus will separate into 2 substances, the internal parts and the skin with some of the internal parts still attached. This is what we need for the further work. Now this is the moment to select the inner parts from the outer parts. The inner substance can be thrown away, we don't need it. Now it is time to dry the material. This will take time, at least 1 or 2 days in a good dry room. My tinder did rest on the little stove for a complete day. Now it is time to soften it with a hammer. Crush the fibers to get something like a dense sponge. If you did your job properly, you will get something like a piece of leather. Now it is time to test it. I'm going to use the same fire starter kit I used for charcoal wool. I am really curious if it works as good as the charred cloth. Use a knife or just your fingers to make a piece of tinder fluffy. It will catch the sparks more easily. And now comes the truth. Actually, I have to confess that not every part of the batch I made worked well. I really had to select the right pieces for the tinder. But as you can see, the selected parts worked really well. Another important thing I noticed that the charcoal wool is much easier to make and probably smolders hotter. But it was fun to go through this old process as well. Probably the same process that was used to make the tinder for the tinder lock guns.
Wow! It works.
It was good for fire making, but now let's see if it can ignite the black powder as well.